Josh, it's been kind of a crazy week, get named alternate for the Olympics, score a goal to send you guys to the semifinals. Just how have you kind of been handling everything?
Yeah, I'm really excited. The Olympics would be an amazing opportunity. I'm really excited to get over to Bordeaux and get camp started. But obviously, Open Cup game first, and was really eager to get out here today in Sacramento and put in a performance for the team and help us get to the semifinals of a tournament. Open Cups. We're treating it as a big deal, and it is, and we're really excited to get back to soccer.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Andy. Go ahead, Nico Moreno. Ask your question.
Thank you. This one's for both of you guys. How did you guys feel like this game played out? It seemed like you guys were somewhat in control the first half, and then what changed? Kind of what happened there in the second half?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I think we dominated possession a decent amount in the first half and kind of imposed the game on them. And things changed obviously with that goal early in the second half, and they were always going to kind of throw the kitchen sink at us from that point. And so it's like a testament to the way the guys defended in the end, and box defending, trying to block crosses, getting stuck in, winning fouls. I mean, it's the Open Cup. They're desperate. It's not like a league game. If you're down 2-1, you're staring at the end of your competition. And so, of course, the kind of intensity changed and the way the game went out changed. So,
thanks, guys. Media on Zoom, if you'd like to ask a question, please use the hand raise function. I'll circle back for some follow-ups after we let the media in the room get some questions. So, Jeremiah, I know you're in there. Go ahead, and I want you to lead us off in person there.
Yeah, Josh, I guess how did it, you had this much of a run out for a little bit. How did it feel out there? What were the conditions like? It was pretty hot, especially pregame, and then it seemed like it maybe cooled off a little bit.
Yeah, we kind of got lucky. The weather's been super hot, and like getting outside for the walk today at like midday, it was really hot and we're sweating immediately. But I think it was like 80, 82 around kickoff, which is really good soccer weather, actually. It's hot out there. And yeah, I'm putting this many minutes in a decent amount of time, so I got a little tired and started cramping up there towards the end. But no, it feels good, and I'm really excited to get started today.
So I'm assuming you've played here before with Defiance. Had you played here before, Andy, as well?
Yeah, I played it twice with New Mexico. So.
Oh, okay. So I mean, how similar was this atmosphere to a regular season game like you guys had been here before, and how much, if at all, did it help that you kind of knew what to expect coming in here?
Yeah, I mean, speaking from the New Mexico experience, I came in September. They were top of the table. We needed a result, and they played a similar style. It's a lot of crosses into the box, using those wing backs. Knew the crowd were going to be in it. The second game I played was a playoff game, and it's the same thing. Winner takes all. And we lost 1-0 on that day, and again from a service into the box, and so I knew that was going to be a lot of the game. In terms of kind of the crowd and the conditions and all of that, it always helps to be able to visualize and know where you're going to be, but every game's a lot different, and so a little bit of experience helps, but it's about doing it on the field.
You had a kind of an injection of adrenaline there the first part of the game. Yeah. What's kind of going through your head in that moment?
Yeah, I mean, I need to read the conditions a little bit better here. It's a field that I'm not used to. It's got loads of those divots and spongy areas, and probably just send that 70 rows back and call it a day and move on to the next one. But recovered, so got the heart rate up and then felt all right.
I mean, I guess if you can kind of just walk us through, like, when you sort of whiff on the kick, yeah. And then what happens in your, like, what's the process that goes through? Is there any thinking at all? Is it just?
I mean, it's all instinctive. I saw it was close, so I was like, I'm going to get a touch on the ball and change the first place. So I got a little touch on it first. It still went up to him, and then I jumped on it because he gave me an inch. And so, had it in my hands, and I was like, all right, deep breath. Next way, doesn't matter. It's not in the net. So, yeah. Obviously that stuff happens, and I was just glad we dealt with it.
And Josh, you had the goal there. It seemed like that maybe even calmed it down from that a little bit. I mean, did you get a sense of the game changing a little bit after that went in?
Yeah, it felt good. We knew we were gonna have to get one early, to kind of give us momentum early, and also kind of just like weather their storm, because we knew they were going to come at us, and they were just going to throw everything forward. So I felt like it really helped like from a mental standpoint, knowing that we kind of had to play the rest of the game with that lead. And I think the guys did a good job of playing from that.
Guys, 2 wins until possibly bringing the US Open Cup back to Seattle. It's been 10 years. It's a whole new team. What does this mean to you guys personally for being part of the squad that could be bringing back the US Open Cup?
Yeah, I mean, it's huge. To kind of look at the different rounds that we've gone through so far, everyone's played a role. Some people, played in Louisville, they didn't play in Phoenix. People played against Phoenix, they didn't play here. And, I think just about everyone has gotten on the field at some point. So this is a collective fight and something that everyone will be proud of if we can get to the end. But it's a game at a time. We're going to Starfire. We don't know who we're up against yet. We've got to get through that one first before we start thinking about anything else. It's semi-final first.
Well, going off of that, it could be your old club, New Mexico United. What's going on in your head with that prospect?
I mean, I'd enjoy that for sure. It's a lot of guys that I know that made me feel incredibly welcome there towards the end of the season, and I have some special memories. It'll be interesting, if it gets to a shootout and a lot of psychology, reverse psychology, reverse psychology. They're gonna be guessing what I know and vice versa. But it'll be fun to see some faces, but I'm gonna do the job on the field first.
I wanted to ask a little bit about the away fans and the supporters. Metal bleachers, pretty loud. I mean, how do you stay focused with all that kind of ruckus behind you? Because in MLS, you usually don't get metal bleachers.
Yeah, it was definitely loud. First half, trying to talk to the centre backs was a challenge. I'm yelling at the top of my lungs and I'm not sure whether they can hear me at all. And especially in a game where they're putting so many crosses in and stuff, being tight, knowing where that forward is so important. And so it definitely posed a challenge. You adapt. I think the centre backs did a job about checking their shoulder a bit more because they couldn't hit me quite as much. And you gotta slow it down in times like that. Sometimes take the tempo, take the energy away from the fans and control it ourselves. And I think we did a good job of that.
There was a lot of elements to this game that you're just not going to see in Seattle. You have these roller coaster rides with the kind of glowing lights in the background. You have the CHP dropping a ball into the field to start the game. You have in-game announcements, all this sort of stuff. It does sort of feel like not to be too kind of silly about it, but it does feel kind of like the magic of the Open Cup. I mean, did you ever look at this and go like, yeah, I mean, this is like, obviously this is no one's going to mistake this from an MLS atmosphere.
I loved it. I thought the atmosphere here, I haven't played in Sacramento in a long time, but the fans are loud and the announcer does a good job getting the fans into the game. It's a cool atmosphere. And we came out at halftime and they were flashing phone flashlights around and stuff. And, it kind of, we're the away team, but it kind of got me amped up a little bit. I feel like more guys too, kind of just feeding off of the fans like that. Yeah. I like the environment a lot.
Yeah. I mean, it was fun. I could see the the spinning roller coaster
Yes.
just above the stand in my vision as I'm watching the ball, see the, green and red lights or whatever. It's not something that happens particularly frequently, but definitely a good time. Yeah, I enjoyed it too.
To talk more about the atmosphere, how did the communication process among the teammates go, especially in that second half when the fans started to get louder, started banging on the bleachers more?
Yeah, I mean, we had the benefit of being down the fighter end that time. I think it was easier to talk to people and track runners felt more kind of composed and able to control movements and control runners and that kind of thing, just because it was easier to hear. And again, same thing. I think we did a decent job of controlling tempo. And that's something that a team that is down is going to be chasing. And I think we took it away from them a decent bit.
Were you guys? I'm assuming you guys picked the sides and which direction to go, or was that? Did they want to?
They took the ball.
They
won the toss and took the ball.
Oh, okay. I mean, I don't know. Did it feel like a significant thing to them? I mean, were we ever sitting there going like, I'm glad I'm not on the other end?
I mean, as the first half started, it's 6-1 half dozen. They're going to be loud either at the start or at the end of the game. Kind of tail off a little bit in the middle, and so happy to have it at the start probably, but it's not going to make a massive difference.
What do you guys think about the milking the clock graphic and PA announcement?
It was cool. I wanted more of it. I just wanted to milk it a little bit more, honestly. didn't get a chance to do so too much. Yeah, it was cool.
Hey guys,
That'd be fun. I'm not sure we could. It's going to be the opposition as opposed to us. So
I'm going to circle back with some questions on Zoom for a couple of our Seattle-based media. Nico Moreno, why don't you go ahead and ask your follow-up?
Yeah, I think this one's probably best for Andrew. Usually when you talk about USL, kind of the expectation when an MLS team plays as many starters as you guys did today is that you should dominate, you should control the game, you should win probably by more goals. Do you guys, or do you give a lot of thought process to that an MLS team should just be able to just run over this USL type of competition?
I mean, I think that's hard to say that it's true. You know, yes, we're coming in as the favorite probably, but we're going on the road against a team that is very good in the USL that you know, didn't play over the weekend, that is used to the environment, used to the field, everything about it. Going on the road is never easy, regardless of who it's against. Yeah, of course, you know, the quality that we had on the field, I think, definitely showed at times. We had the ability to keep possession and play through things that probably wasn't true in the reverse. And so, you know, celebrations were really a little bit subdued because it was to be expected, but doesn't mean it's easy in the slightest. It's not that we were coming here and expecting to win immediately. We had to do the work.
Thanks. We'll go next to Jess Lazo from SandersFC.com. Jess, go ahead, unmute yourself and ask your question.
Yeah, I have two questions. First one, what can you guys say about how quick transitions and counterattacks have been beneficial for the team recently? Obviously, Jordan's goal is a prime example of that tonight.
Yeah, you know, I think it's one of many strengths that we have, especially when we put out a lineup like we did tonight, with a front three that has a lot of speed with Jordan, Paul, and Reed, and we can play aggressive and try to hit teams. Definitely fell into the scouting report that we thought that was something that we can exploit on them, given the players that they had on the field, and we liked the matchups that we had. So that was something that we talked about going into the game, and that it could be beneficial to exploit them on counterattacks. So, you know, I think it worked.
Awesome. And then second question, what does it mean to now be able to advance to the semifinals and to have that opportunity to compete at home in front of the fans?
I mean, I'm excited to get back to Starfire. It's a fun place to play. To play a semifinal there is going to be extra cool. You know, hopefully fill it out even more than we have in the previous rounds, and you know, spend 90 minutes or 120 minutes or 120 in penalties trying to do the job and get to a final.
Cool. Thanks, guys.